What's going on, everyone? So the Los Angeles Lakers are ready to take on Jokic, and that's going to be the big problem. It's trying to slow him down. You're never going to stop him. You're never going to shut him down. He's always going to get his, but can you kind of wear him down? Can you make him work? Can you make things difficult for Jokic to the best of your ability, right? If you can kind of stop the engine, you're going to have some success in regards to beating Denver. Now, I do like the idea, and I'll go more in depth in it in later videos. But I do like the idea of like Rui, kind of like the Lakers have also had success with like kind of Rui at the 5 on Jokic because he has the lower center of gravity in the defense, and then Anthony Davis kind of be the help defender. You kind of live with Aaron Gordon in the corner and the weak side corner shooting threes, which he's terrible in the weak side corner. He's actually very good in the strong side. It's the weak side. But nonetheless, right, you're going to throw different looks. You're going to throw different possibilities at Denver and at Jokic to try to slow him down. I do think the Lakers are better equipped to slow down and kind of wear out Jamal Murray than they are with Jokic. And in all honesty, that might be the best course of action. Like, so many people are worried about Jokic, but it's not really Jokic. It's Jamal Murray turning into prime Michael Jordan every time he plays the Lakers, right? Like, we can survive with Jokic going and getting his. Like, Jokic could go drop 40 and we could still beat Denver. It's Jamal Murray going off and averaging 32 a game last playoffs, right? So I do think the Lakers, if they can slow down Jamal, will win the series. I think as long as he's not like, again, prime Michael Jordan, I think the Lakers will be good, but it would be nice to at least make things difficult for Jokic. And one of the big things that Jokic has talked about is even like multiple bigs, right? That like, teams like Minnesota give him trouble because he has to go up against 2 trees rather than just one. And the Lakers are kind of limited in that regard, right? Yes, you have guys that, Christian Wood's hurt for one, so you lose him. And I know he's not really a center, but still another big body you could throw. Obviously, Rui again, they'll probably throw him on him. And then outside of that, it's like, you have Jaxson Hayes, who, Hayes definitely needs some minutes, some high energy, but he's not a guy that's really going to bother Jokic. He just doesn't have the size and the strength. He's more of like, an athletic finesse type center, which I do think he can still have an impact. His ability to run the floor, help rebound, right? I do think Jaxson Hayes will be good in, I don't think he's going to play a huge role, but a limited role for the Lakers. I also think the problem is like you can't, so Anthony Davis and his ability to be so good as the help, the weak side defensive, blind side help player, like you can do the Rui thing. Can't really do that with Jaxson Hayes, right? He doesn't have the understanding and discipline yet. He's still really young. He kind of plays on just raw talent and energy. Rather, he's an energy guy, right? So to me, it's more so of like, I don't like use Jaxson Hayes like you would Rui, where Jaxson Hayes is there on Jokic trying to fight and battle to the best of his ability, but really Anthony Davis is coming over to be the help defender. But you're trying to disrupt Jokic by having 2 big 7-footers that are just, he has to fight through and power through and kind of play out of, right? Get the ball out of Jokic's hands and then also help the rest of the team kind of manage. But also, none of this works unless we can defend the perimeter, right? Which again, I'll go, I want to make a video at some point breaking down the defensive strategy against Denver, but to kind of quickly summarize is like the only way it works with Rui defending Jokic and then Anthony Davis in that like free safety role as like the help defender on Jokic is if everyone else out on, like, LeBron, D'Lo, and Austin Reeves can hold their own out on the perimeter. Because if they can, then you can get away with that, because anything that basically comes in, the guys out on the perimeter are kind of just funneling it to AD, and AD's there to kind of clean it up, right? Because he just covers so much ground. The issue is like, if guys are getting beat constantly, then what ends up happening, like let's say Jamal Murray's just running by D'Lo, running by Reeves, then what happens is now Anthony Davis has to come out to help, and now you have Aaron Gordon as a cutter slasher getting to the rim, that now it's a lob threat, or you just throw it over the top to Jokic and he just basically shoots or finishes over the top of Rui because he's too small. So it's only going to work if we can defend out on the perimeter and not get torched possession after possession by Jamal and KCP and Michael Porter Jr. and the others. Right? If we hold our own out there against the other guys, then you can kind of get away with it, because then Anthony Davis can kind of play in his spot, play in his position. But the reason I like Jaxson Hayes kind of playing the Rui role as well is because, yes, he's not, like, Jaxson Hayes isn't this great shot blocking defensive monster on the defensive side, but he is still, 7 feet that can go and just be a tree, and makes it a little harder to kind of just lob it over the top, right? To where if Aaron Gordon's still in the corner, or let's say somebody beats, maybe LeBron or somebody runs out to Aaron, so that way it cuts him off so he can't just like get a free lane to the basket. And then at least if they try to like throw it over the top to Jaxson Hayes, or over the top to Jokic over Jaxson Hayes at least has the size and the length to hopefully make that difficult, right? So I do think that you can kind of get away in that regard. But to me, I do think you need to give us, not like, I'm not saying you have to do it heavy, unless it's like working. If it's working, great, then yes. But I think you need to have at least, a handful, 5 to 10 minutes a game where both AD and Hayes are on the court, right? Get different looks, get different styles, like, because again, you need to try to wear these guys down over the course of a 7-game series. You need to make things and make them have to work as much as possible over the course of a 7-game series. And like I said, we're more well equipped for Jamal, with Gabe Vincent and Spencer Dinwiddie now, and you have LeBron and Prince and Reddish, and hopefully Vando comes back at some point during the series. I know a lot of people are kind of like, even if Vando does come back, no, you still need Vando, right? Because you're not asking him to play 30, 40 minutes. You're just asking him to be another body that can slow down Jamal, right? So to me, it's like you start throwing all these pieces and all these guys at Jamal and wear him down. You need to do the same thing to Jokic, and I think you can do that by having AD kind of conserve his energy a little bit, have Hayes kind of be the bruiser, so to speak, and then Anthony Davis is kind of being the help defender in that regard, and you have kind of the two bigs against Jokic. Now, I don't think Jaxson Hayes is necessarily the answer. I don't think like, Jaxson Hayes, and now that's it. That's the formula to beat in Denver. But I do think you could get maybe some solid looks and some solid moments with Hayes alongside AD, and get the energy and the hustle, and then just the floor running big, right? Kind of force force Jokic to have to run a little bit, right? Just kind of make things difficult in that regard. It's kind of my hope now. But again, you're not going to stop Jokic. You're just trying to make things difficult. You're just trying to wear him down to the best of the ability. And we'll see. We'll see if the Lakers can do that. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you like the idea of going with two bigs, right? Going with Hayes and AD? Again, I'm not saying you start him or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you give us a couple minutes a game, maybe mid-game, right? Throw a little Hayes and AD out there, kind of see what that looks like. If it works, great, right? Keep going with it. Keep sticking with it. If it doesn't, then you just kind of go back to like, hey, here's a heavy dose of AD for, 40 minutes and Jaxson Hayes for the, 8 minutes. And there you go, right? Like, I don't want to lean too heavily in Hayes because right? Like Hayes is great in small doses. It's as soon as he has to start playing like 30 minutes, you start seeing some of the flaws, right? Certain matchups, certain teams, sure, you can get away with it. But I mean, we're talking about Denver and the best player in the world who's a center. You don't really want Jaxson Hayes having to match up too much on that. But we'll see. Time will tell. Again, love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Helps me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. And that subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.